this video, I'll give you an overview of the events and attendance screen by walking you through getting everything set up. I'll also go through a scenario that will illustrate how to get the most out of this feature. First, select the Events and Attendance screen. This will bring you to the calendar in your ChurchTrac account. Now, just to give you a quick run through of what's here, you have a master calendar where all of the events you add will be displayed. The Attendance and Check-in tab at the top of the screen is where you can view all upcoming events where you've activated attendance tracking and record attendance for those events. The Reports tab allows you to print calendars and generate reports on your attendance records. Edit Calendars is where you can create more calendars for your teams and ministries. And the Options tab is where you can export these calendars to other calendar tools that you use, as well as add your ChurchTrac calendar to your website. Now, before we hit the ground running and add events to the calendar, the first thing that I recommend you do is select the Edit Calendars tab at the top of the screen and create calendars for each team or ministry at your church. Just select the Add Calendar button and give the calendar a name. I'm going to add a calendar for the women's ministry, so I'll type in women's ministry and then select the Add Calendar button at the bottom of the screen. If I select that calendar that I just added, I can assign a color to the events for this calendar. I'll choose violet for this one. I can also choose which ChurchTrac users can view the events on this calendar. There are other details here, so check out our Creating a New Calendar user guide article to learn more about this page. Once your calendars are created, select the Options tab. When adding events to the calendar, you can also notate where the event will occur. This screen is where you can create a list of all possible locations to choose from when creating an event. I'll show you what I mean in a moment, but to get started, go ahead and add common locations like sanctuary or fellowship hall and other areas of your church or ministry. Now, for my scenario, I'm going to add Mary's house to this list as a location, and then I'll select the Add Location button. Now that you have some calendars created and a list of locations, you're ready to use the master calendar. Select the Calendar tab at the top of the screen. To add an event, either select the plus sign in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or select the date on the calendar itself. In the following screen, enter the basic details about the event. I'll add a women's ministry luncheon. That's what I'm going to do for my scenario. There we go. This is where you can select which calendar this event belongs to and choose the location where this event will occur. So I'll add this to my women's ministry calendar and choose Mary's house as the location. And then I'll select Add Event. Once the details are listed here, you can also set up registrations for this event or record attendance. All I have to do is select that event on the calendar again to open that menu to access the registrations feature. Now, I won't go into detail on those features because we have other articles and videos that do just that, so be sure to check them out. But for my event, let's say I want the ladies to sign up so we know how many people to prepare for. I'll say, let's say on the registration screen, I'll select the Set Up Registration for this event button, and I'll say that I want anyone to attend. So I'll choose the Anyone option here and then click Continue. And I'll choose a count registration so I know that the head count. From here, I can customize the form and share the URL or QR code to get more signups. Again, check out our Getting Started with Registrations article to learn more about everything that I just breezed through. Once the event has occurred, I can record who was in attendance. If I select the event on the calendar and then select the Options tab at the top of this menu, I can select the Attendance and Check-in button and then add the relevant group to this event and then record who was present. There's a lot going on with attendance tracking and check-in, so read our Getting Started with Attendance article to learn more about this part of the process. And that brings me to my last point. You probably noticed that I mentioned other articles a few times in this video. That's because the features built into events and attendance in ChurchTrac are so robust. Personally, I recommend you spend some time in our user guide, reading the articles, and watching the videos before diving deep into this part of your account, just to make sure you get the most out of it. That's how to get started with events. If you have questions, send us a support ticket or visit churchtrac.com/support.